Mercari's rating system sucks. If you sell on Mercari, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'll explain later. I got 2 bad feedbacks on Mercari because, as usual, buyers do not read, buyers do not see pictures, and they don't even bother to ask questions beforehand. So I'm going to be showing you 2 usernames. I'll be telling you the stories first, what happened, and in the end, I still want your guys' opinion. Could I have done something better? Did I do it the correct way? Or what would you have done? It was a nice and sunny day. No, I'm just kidding. So what ended up happening is I got an offer on a pair of Nike Air Max 270s. These were definitely not in the greatest condition, like at all. I'll be posting screenshots around here somewhere. But as you see, I ended up receiving an offer for $43 plus shipping. And on Mercari, the shipping rate for USPS 2-pound rates, which is what I use, was $13.25, I believe. Yeah, somewhere on there. And I was fine, accepted it. But as you'll see in these pictures here as well, near the toe area, there were 2 holes, which you can see in the pictures. And the heel also had major drag wear, which of course you can see in the picture as well. I ended up getting the notification that I got rated, as you usually do with Mercari. You get a notification saying, please rate your buyer, and then your funds will be released. And again, if you don't sell in Mercari, I'm going to explain why this part is so important after the stories. I ended up getting that notification. I rate the buyer 5 stars as usual because I didn't think there was any problem with this order since I didn't get no message or nothing from the buyer. Come to see my rating, and it was a 2-star rating. Mind you, I personally don't care too much about reviews on Mercari because, well, I just don't. And like most people always say anyways, your 5-star reviews are going to outweigh your lower ones. That's usually how it is. And this is what the review said that the buyer ended up leaving me. Item came in a very poorly packed and damaged box. I knew about signs of wear, but the soles were much more damaged than what was told, and there were many more holes than expected. The shoes were also very dirty. I will say that the item was shipped out very quickly. So out of all that, the only positive thing that the buyer had to say was that I shipped the item very quickly, which I actually shipped out that same day as soon as I got the order because I just happened to be packing. So I was like, well, might as well. I ended up making a short as well because of this specific review. In that short, I actually show how I pack all my shoes, and I always pack shoes in this method. Let's go on and see that short actually.
For reference, this is how I always pack my shoes.
I always get 3 little sheets of this bubble wrap right here. I always put the shoes like this. Then I wrap. Then, if it's going USPS, I get a USPS shoebox. I over tape it. Put in the shoes. And then I close it. I do put tape on top, of course, but that's how I always pack my shoes. But that is exactly how I pack all my shoes all the time, in a bubble wrap, and depending on how heavy it is, a box, poly bag, or padded bag. That's how I always do it. And the only reason I can think that the box might have been damaged, and I'm pretty sure we've all had this experience, is the fact that USPS just likes to play soccer ball with our packages. And I've experienced this firsthand. I had a friend, Pittsburgh picker Adam, who did end up sending me a box, and as soon as it came, that thing was smashed to pieces. I don't think I have the picture anymore, but if I do, I'll post it up. And vice versa. I send packages to them to Pennsylvania, and end up showing up like they used it like a soccer ball. So that's probably the reason why this one came out that way. But this one was very unimportant, and it happens to start whatever. I didn't care too much of it. I did end up sending the buyer a message, which they never responded to, but this is the message that I sent them. Why did you lie in your rating? I packaged the shoes as I do all my shoes, wrapped in bubble wrap in a USPS box. I showed the condition of the shoes in the pictures, and you got exactly what I pictured. Your rating is completely false. Which it is. Were the shoes dirty? Maybe. These shoes were not so dirty that I ended up going out and cleaning them. I just don't have the time for that. And that's why I always picture the shoes from every angle. It's just how I do it. So this one wasn't as bad. This one's like whatever. I'm actually not even going to reveal this username because it wasn't really that bad. I was like I said, I don't exactly care too much about rating anyway on Mercari. So let's head on over to the bad one. And this one I do want your guys' opinions. There was something that I could probably have done better, but at the same time you can see it in the picture. So let me talk about it. I ended up selling a Adidas extra large size fitted hat. Nothing great about it, just a regular hat. So I ended up getting a full price sale on this, which I was actually pretty happy about. It was $25 plus $5 shipping. I believe this one I did end up shipping in a box, because I do ship hats in poly bags, but it's only the ones that, you know, they go flat and that kind of stuff. But I always do write it in the description that I will ship the hats in a poly bag to save the buyer on shipping, because I think for 4-ounce rate, at least on Mercari, it's $4.87, and for a 8-ounce rate, it's $5. So does it really make that much of a difference? It doesn't, but to some buyers, that little difference does make a big difference. I ended up selling this. Awesome, no problem. It got delivered, and then I get a message. And mind you, I think that this buyer has probably done this on eBay, because this completely screams eBay vibe to me. And if you sell on eBay, you more than likely might know what I'm talking about. So let me know in the comments below if this will sound very eerily familiar to you. So the first message goes as follows. Before I leave a negative review, I believe in giving you a chance to make it right. The hat is disgusting and stained with sweat. How do you want to move forward? I prefer a refund. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? It should, right? This is what I wrote. As you can see in the pictures, those stains are photographed. You are always welcome to message me and ask about the stains before purchasing. And that is something that a lot of buyers don't seem to do. They just seem to be just seeing that first picture, and that's it. They don't bother to see the rest. They don't see to read the description or nothing, or even send us a message. That's the best thing you can do. I know there are some sellers out there who don't like to respond to message. You know, I don't believe they watch my long form videos, but if you do, you know who I'm talking about. This buyer was always more than welcome to send me a message, because probably later on in the video I'm going to be showing you a little of how I pictured the hats, and I'm going to be showing you the part that the buyer is complaining about, which you can see in the pictures. They responded with, I want a refund, or I will leave you a negative review. Tell you, does it sound familiar? It should. I told you the advertisement says it's in good condition, which is in poor condition, not as good as advertised. Now this is where I want your guys' opinion. By default, I usually have all my conditions set to a pre-owned good. And just in my opinion, pre-owned good means that it's fully functional, fully wearable, that you can still use it. I mean, to me, poor means that the thing is like crushed up or you can't use it anymore. I mean, that's what my understanding of poor means. But again, let me know in the comments below what you think the condition of this hat was. Was it good, fair, or poor? And I'm just saying those because I knew that it wasn't new or like new. And I always have it set to good as a pre-selected thing in my list perfectly cataloged. And I actually go on to explain this to the buyer. My response was, it is in good condition, which is still usable. There are no tears or rips. Stains, yes, which you can see in the pictures. Again, stay tuned for that. The buyer then goes on saying, that's laughable. Good condition does not mean it is usable. Good condition means the hat is in good physical condition and good in shape. The blemishes on the hat makes the poor. I actually got confused on that part. I was like, makes the poor? What does that mean, bud? I'm assuming he meant to say it makes the hat poor. Now, as you'll be able to see in the pictures, if I'm having a slideshow or not, the hat is in good physical condition, which you can see in the pictures. It's in good shape, which you can see in the picture because I did use one of those mannequin heads to use the hat. And the blemishes on the hat, there are some. You can see it in the pictures. And the brim, you can see that there are stains there, which you can see in the pictures. That's what I'm trying to tell the buyer. I responded with, again, all which you can see in the pictures, because you can see the shape, you can see the conditions, and you can see the stains. It's not like I was trying to hide the stains at all. I'm trying to show it to you guys. Goes on to say, still it is deception on your end. It should be rated as poor condition, not good. I mean, to me personally, I don't think this was in poor condition. Fair condition, probably. Good condition, probably stretching it, but just in my opinion, it was in good condition, good to fair. After that, this was my last response to the buyer, and this was my response. Did you see the pictures before purchasing? If so, you would have seen the stains and markings. Pictures show everything, and again, you were welcome to ask questions before purchasing. And his last message to me was, I will leave you a negative review. Now, when it comes to this, when I said that last message, it either made the buyer mad because he knew he wasn't going to get no refund. And again, I'm going to be explaining how that whole process works on Mercari anyways. He knew that he wasn't going to get a refund. He thinks that threatening me with a negative feedback was going to force me to refund and him keep the hat, I'm assuming. But no, that's not how it works on Mercari. And it sounds like that last message put a, how do I say it? Made him mad because I was questioning why he didn't do what he was supposed to do. Did he see the pictures? Did he see the markings because they were there? And why didn't you send me a message to ask me about those markings? And then his only response was, I'm going to leave you negative feedback. That just tells me that this buyer didn't do any of that. All he did was go based off the first picture, and that's it. So this was the rating that he left me. He left me a 1-star review. The seller deceptively rated the hat in good condition, which is not even close. The hat should be listed as poor condition due to the stains, strong offensive smell, and terrible shape it is in. I prefer to get a refund due to deceptive rating. Now, that's the first time I'm hearing about any strong offensive smell. He did not mention that at all. This hat had no smell at all, so I mean, I have no idea what they're talking about. And the unfortunate part is that even though they say this, we can't reply to the feedback. We can't send a message to Mercari and say, hey, this person left me a false feedback. What are you going to do about it? It's like, Mercari doesn't care. They're not going to do anything about ratings. Their opinion, as usual, is like, oh, well, we want this to be a fair marketplace. Buyers can have their opinions, blah, 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 blah. We already know all that. It's like, we don't care about that. We know that this is false, but, it is what it is. On Mercari, in order to see what the rating is, you have to rate the buyer as well. And unfortunately, you can't see what the buyer rated you until you rate the buyer themselves. Usually, when I have no problem with a buyer like the last one that I showed you, I usually just leave a 5-star rating, whatever. I personally don't care because most of the time it's a great experience. Everybody always leaves me 5 stars, no problem whatsoever. This one, on the other hand, I already knew wasn't gonna problem. So if you've never seen a seller put a 1-star review on an actual buyer, this is how it looks like. And yes, I did it because I did everything correct on my part. At least just in my opinion. I still want your guys' opinions too. So at the time, this person only had 1 review. Mine would be the second. And from this video time, he has 3. But my review was, I would not recommend anyone accept an offer or order from this buyer. Even when showing flaws in the picture, he claims to be completely unusable, which is not true. I always put pictures of flaws, and buyers are welcome to ask questions before purchase, which this buyer did none of when they purchased. That was the review that I left on this buyer's profile. I wish that was something we could do on eBay, but it is what it is. So when it comes to this hat, as you'll see, and hopefully I'll have the slideshow going by right now, this hat is in pretty good condition from the outside. Shape is good, inside is good, but as you'll see right here in this little brim part, yes, there is staining, which you can see under the brim. You can clearly see it, and as usual, buyers are always welcome to send this message. But it's over with. Nothing we can do about it. I got the review on it. Who cares? So, how do the reviews work on Mercari? Well, I think I pretty much mentioned it a little bit earlier. On Mercari, when an item gets delivered, the buyer has 3 days to rate you. If they don't rate you, you get an automatic 5 stars from Mercari, basically showing that Mercari automated this automatic message, yada yada, meaning that you got an automatic 5 stars. When the buyer actually rates you, whether it's that same day, the next day, or on the very last day, you get a push notification saying that please rate your buyers to release your funds, which you gotta do in order to get your money as well. The buyer already rated you. Their rating, and if they leave this little description or whatever in it, they already done it, but you can't see it until you rate them. So say you think you had an awesome experience with a buyer and you leave them 5 stars. What is it? Quick rater, friendliness, communication, and some other stuff. I don't remember what the other one was. You put that for the buyer, they get 5 stars. Then you see the review they left you, and they leave you 1 star. and probably for a dumb reason, that's how Mercari rating works. You don't know what the buyer rates you until you rate them. And yes, I have sent messages to Mercari about this as well, and they will not do anything about it. Just like eBay, they say, like, well, it's their opinion. We want to have a fair marketplace. We believe that all feedback should be fair and not retaliatory, which, I mean, I just think it's dumb that a buyer can rate you first, leave a very bad review, and then you rate them thinking it's an awesome experience, and then boom, you get a 1 star. Now, would that be retaliatory if you know what the rating is beforehand and you got a 1 star? Probably. At the same time, at least let us make our case, or at least let us reply to it or something, because you can't do any of that. But I go on and ramble. So what do you guys think in this situation? Did I do enough to show the condition of the hat? I mean, there's only so many pictures of a hat you can take, and I think I took a pretty good amount of pictures just for a hat, because a lot of other sellers only probably take 1 or 2 pictures and that's it. I took 10 pictures for a hat. Is that excessive, or is that a good amount? Let me know in the comments below. What's your opinion on that? Who do you think was in the right, me or the buyer? And do you think this was a good condition, a fair condition, or a poor condition? I really want to know, because like I said, in my opinion, this was a good condition hat because it is still usable. I clearly put all the flaws in the pictures. In the description, I did put that it does need a cleaning, but it's still good to go, meaning that you can still use the hat. There's nothing preventing you from using the hat. And then when it comes to the shoes, that one I really don't have much to say because the buyer actually never communicated with me. So I really don't have much to go on that, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not revealing that buyer's name, because I mean, there's really no point. She didn't really go out of her way to say anything like the hat buyer did. So, I mean, when it comes to Mercari, I don't care about the rating because it really does no effect to me at all. Mercari isn't exactly like the best platform for me. I do get sales there from time to time, so that's the reason why I keep posting there. I'd say it's probably it's my third platform in the order that I make a decent amount of money, which would be first it's eBay, then Poshmark, then Mercari, and then Grailed. So Mercari, I still list. I do get a lot of good sales there from time to time, but I'm not so worried about ratings there than I am like on eBay, where unfortunately it does make a big difference. So again, guys, I want your comments below. Let me know who was in the right, back and forth. And do you think it was right that I left that 1-star feedback for the buyer? We're all going to experience bad buyers in every marketplaces, and you just have to deal with it differently in every marketplace. I know it's a lot more difficult on eBay to deal with these kind of negative feedbacks because eBay's getting a lot more stricter with these feedbacks, at least with me. I know with other people it might be different, but with me, they're not removing false feedback no more. I already know with Posh and Mercari, I'm not even gonna bother with feedback, because on Posh, I know they won't do nothing. And besides, on Posh, it doesn't even really matter because people can't even see your feedback. So that's a good benefit for Posh. For Mercari, they can see your feedback, but they see it in star form. So say you have 500 feedbacks, but you have maybe 10 1-stars, 3 2-stars, in that order, it won't really matter, because at least in your rating, when people are looking at your profile, it still shows 5 stars, meaning that you're a good seller. So that's actually pretty good. But yeah, guys, that's really all I have for this rant video. If you guys enjoyed this rant, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a lot more later in the future. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and that way you can get notified when I make new rant videos or just any videos in general. And make sure you hit that bell, that way you can actually get the notification to show what the video is going to be about when it comes out. Also, make sure you hit that like button. That way it will help the YouTube suggest this video to new viewers and hopefully new subscribers. Bad buyers are just part of business. Can't do anything about it. We just have to deal with it. But we have to know how to deal with it, because you're going to get your first, but it will not be your last. If you guys want to see more rant videos about bad buyers that you probably should block and just be careful with, make sure to hit this playlist right here. There's plenty of them right there for you. Till next time.